Adding and subtracting time on a number line. So today, for homework, you have a word problem that requires you to read it and either subtract or add the time together. So it says, Peter practices violin for a total of 30 minutes over the weekend. He practices 15 minutes on Saturday. How many minutes does he practice on Sunday? So when we look at this today, we are being asked to tell how many minutes he practices on Sunday. What do we know? That he practices for a total of 30 minutes over the weekend. So we have to know in our mind that the weekend includes Saturday and Sunday. So he practices for 15 minutes on Saturday. So I just told you 3 things that you know. Sometimes the things you know are going to be in the word problem, and sometimes things you know are things that you've been taught in class, or sometimes it's just general knowledge, like the weekend. I didn't teach you that in class, but you already know that the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. So you could write that down. You could say the third thing that you know is that you need to use a number line in order to answer your question or when you're drawing a picture. So those are 3 things you can write down that you know. How many minutes does he practice on Sunday? So if I know the total, so I know that there's a total of 30 minutes that he practices over the weekend. And I know that total is equal to what he does on Sunday and what he does on Saturday. I know that he practices for 15 minutes on Saturday. What I don't know is how many minutes he practiced on Sunday, and that's what I'm being asked to do. So my job is to find out how many minutes he practiced on Sunday. Now, this equation I wrote right here is equivalent to 30 minutes equals something plus 15. You could take 15 and count up until you get to 30. Or you could count backwards from 30 15 times until you get to a number. Whatever you do, you need to show that work on a number line. Show me your counting and your thinking. And I'm going to redraw that line because that's pretty crooked. Actually, I'm going to use a tool here. There we go. And so we have that. And so we know that there's a total of 30 minutes. I'm going to start back here because I'm going to choose to go ahead and count backwards. Now, you could count by ones, and we talked about an open number line means that you can count by anything that you want it to because there's no intervals on here already. You can make the intervals. And so when I look at 15, this is what I want to take off. I want to subtract because I know that I could get the total by subtracting 15. Some people might want to start at 15 and count up to 30. That's another way to do it. Today, I'm just choosing to subtract. So 30, if I take away 15, instead of counting 15 ones, I could count by fives, and I know that because I see that my number ends in a 5. But I'm actually going to count by 110 because this number has 110 and 15. So I'm going to count backwards. I'm going to jump back 10. 30 minus 10 gives me 20. Notice when we're counting by tens, the tens place changes. And now I'm going to count back minus 5. 20 minus 5. I'm taking away 5 ones, so I'm going to take that away from 0. I can't really. I need to regroup. And when I do that, that leaves me with 110. And it gives me 10 ones, and 10 minus 5 equals 5. So when I jump back, I get to 15. So I know that Peter practices for a total of 15 minutes on Sunday. So my answer is going to say 15, and I'm going to have a label. A lot of times you guys forget to label. Don't forget to label, and that is adding and subtracting on a number line.